And when you're playing at Halifax and then Fleetwood, is it ever in your mind, have you always got that belief that you're going to one day become a Premier League footballer, or does it seem a long way off at that stage in your career?
Didn't even think about it.
Didn't even think about it?
Really? Everyone obviously knows where I've come from to where I am now, so it's took a lot of hard work, but for me personally, it's a massive achievement. As a player, you always think, get your first goal, then you'll kick on. For me, it wasn't happening. As soon as we got to the league, I was realising that certain stuff I was doing the year before at Fleetwood wasn't working. And I mean, don't get me wrong, every game I'd put 110% in. For me itself, and probably for people that were watching as well, it wasn't good enough. You step up the leagues, defenders are better at reading the game, better positioned, not as slow as everyone thinks a centre-half should be, and that's when I knew that it wasn't going to be easy. There was a lot I did need to work on. I'd always done it, no matter what club I was at, I'd always scored a lot of goals, and I think my first season I think I had 5 to my name. It was hard to take. It was hard to take. If I wanted to be able to make sure that more goals came, there was a lot of work that I did need to do, not just when I'm at training, but obviously on my own as well. I had a chat with the manager and his 2 assistants at the time, so Nigel Pearson, Steve Walsh and Craig Shakespeare. I was literally telling them that I don't think that I'm good enough for this level. I remember asking to be shipped back on loan to Fleetwood at one point. And I remember all 3 of them just sitting me down and just saying, look, we believe in you, we got you here for a reason. I think that's what I needed in a way to hear. Obviously, when you're struggling the first year, you need to put that extra effort in during the summer and the off-season and come back as fit and as ready to go as possible. And that summer, I remember knuckling down even more and obviously trying to curb off the pitch out as well, which I know deep down I needed to do. Sometimes it's just hard when things aren't going your way.
Did you work extra hard in the summer, or did you just think, I fancy being good this year?
Nah, you have to put the work in. That's what it's about. And I come back in the second season feeling confident, to be honest with you. The gaffer actually chose me to start in the first game against Middlesbrough away. Managed to get on the score sheet in a 2-1 win, and everything that season just started kicking on from there. It definitely grew me in confidence in the year, especially for myself, knowing that I was at a stage the season before where I wasn't thinking that the championship was at my level, so over the moon that it didn't turn out that way, and obviously buzzing that we managed to get promoted.
Last season, 5 goals in the Premier League. Already this season, 18. Touch me. What has happened to you?
I think to be honest, I just needed time to adapt. I mean, it happened when I first signed as well. I didn't have the best of years in the Championship, but then the year after I scored a lot of goals and we got promoted, and then last year it's gone virtually the same.
At 15 years old, you were playing in the academy for Sheffield Wednesday. They let you go. What was the reason they gave you at 15?
Yeah, I went as tall as Croucher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, too small.
Really?
Too small.
The amount of players that get that, it's too small, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
And then you started playing for Stocksbridge Steels, earning £30 a week.
When I was at Stocksbridge, it was just playing with your mates,
Yeah.
enjoying myself, and then signed for Halifax, and the dressing room was exactly the same. So it was literally just like you're playing with your mates again. Everyone's having a laugh. That got us promoted.
Yeah.
Signed for Fleetwood, same dressing room again.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky where I've had really good dressing rooms everywhere you go. And
Yeah.
there's never been any bad eggs in it. Everyone's always been enjoying themselves. And me personally, I think when you are enjoying yourself, that's when you play your best football anyway. So to have that all the way through has been unbelievable. So I was playing 2 games a week, just
trying to get it in.
Yeah, just enjoying myself. And back then it weren't an issue. You're at that age where 2 games in 2 days is nothing. So yeah, it was all good. And luckily, doing it like that, that's what got me looked at from Stocksbridge's first team manager.
Did you ever feel like the impossible would be possible? Like the way you're standing here today in this change room, when you was wearing that Stockbridge shirt, did you think, yeah, one day I could make it there?
No. It was again, I'd just been playing. I mean, one of the lads who got released with me at the same time at Sheffield Wednesday, he played for one of his local Sunday League sides, and we ended up going to college together. And he just asked me to come and play with them on a Sunday, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Obviously, enjoying it again.
You've come at an age and you've been written off and rejected, and therefore you've got a different life experience. You think that has stood you in good stead?
Yeah, 100%. Just getting 7 bells kicked out of me every week, it toughens you up when you're younger, and I'll be honest, I used to enjoy it. They used to think that I'd be staying down and that's me done. No chance, I'm getting back up and you're having it, mate. How's about that one?
To be honest,
When I worked in a factory, which was basically a company that did stuff for hospitals all over the country and the world, and we used to make carbon fibre splints for people who suffered with drop foot. It's good knowing that you're helping people out, but like you said, the long hours and the stuff that it involved, it was absolute agony for myself.
You still wear the cast, don't you? Each game. Why?
Because I've got 3 fractures in my wrist.
Still?
Yeah, and not healed as we thought they might have. But wearing the cast means that I can't do any more damage to them, so I'm more than happy to carry on wearing it and playing the games.
You mentioned your old job. You worked in a factory, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was it cast, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a foot splint for disabled people with drop foot.
Okay.
So they can't walk with the toes off the floor. So we made them a splint, and it used to spring the toes up so that they had a natural movement. And yeah, it was a rewarding job, obviously, knowing what you're doing for the people out there who are struggling with drop foot. I mean, I quit my job at work. Obviously, I was working full time just to concentrate on football. So I was just going to concentrate and just have my football wage coming in, which weren't a lot. And luckily, 3 days later, I signed full time at Fleetwood. So it all worked in the right way. And like you said, it's gone on to bigger and better things. I'm going to concentrate on football for a year, just take my football wage and see where it got me. And luckily enough, I think I left on the Wednesday. I think on the Thursday I signed for Fleetwood.
Wow.
I mean, I remember the day I signed was a Thursday. I'd literally just quit my job as well.
Where was you working?
I was in a factory.
No way.
Yeah, I'd just decided to give football a go for 12 months to see what worked out, what happened. If it didn't, then I was told that my job at the factory was still there, waiting if I needed to come back. And 3 days later, I ended up signing for Fleetwood. If I'm being honest, I remember I got a phone call off my agent at the time. He was like, "What do you know about Fleetwood Town?" I said, "Nothing." He's like, "Well, you need to do your research." So I was like, "Right, okay." So I obviously looked up where it was, what league they were playing in. Went and met the chairman and the manager at the time on the Thursday afternoon. Signed. Got told that I'd be in the squad because we had a game on the Friday that I'd be on the bench, and then turned up and they were just like, "Oh, by the way, we just thought we'd let you know you're starting." So I was like,
okay.
Right, here we go, just thrown in straight at the deep end. But nah, it was fine, really well.
And when you're playing at Halifax and then Fleetwood, is it ever in your mind, have you always got that belief that you're going to one day become a Premier League footballer, or does it seem a long way off at that stage in your career?
Didn't even think about it.
Didn't even think about it?
Really?
So you go from £30 a game to signing for 1 million. That's a non-league record at the time.
At what point did you start thinking, do you know what, there's a very good chance we're going to lift this trophy?
Do you know what, though? I think that was the right mentality to go with. Taking each game as it come, and like you said, the results kept coming. But for me personally, it was we played Man City away. I think we won 3-1.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, nah, this can really happen.
Because of the points, or because you beat Man City?
I think it was more just because we'd turned up to obviously Man City on their own patch and beat them. So yeah, that's when I personally thought it could happen, and we just kept going after that, and there was no letting off. And like you said, one of, if not the biggest achievement to ever happened.
You go on the 11-game consecutive goal-scoring run. Just talk to us about your feelings.
I weren't even thinking about it at all.
Really?
It was so strange. Like, it kept getting mentioned, and I was just going into each game, just obviously wanting to help the team out. If I didn't score, then that didn't matter. It was more about Leicester picking up the points.
What do you see when you see this shirt here?
It's honestly, it's a story that you could tell 1,000 times to your grandkids and they probably wouldn't believe it. So, no, it was what a season it was. What a season it was. And I mean, I think, to be honest, the momentum from the season before helped us a lot as well. We just carried that on going into the next season, and we were just taking each game as it comes. We literally started the season saying, right, we just need to get to 40 points. Let's make sure we stay in the league, get to 40 points. And I think we had 39 come the halfway point. I remember the gaffer, he turned around and said, right, we need these next 19 games, I want 1 more point. So I'm like, oh, sweet, we've got 19 games to get 1 point. And he was like, no, the next half of the season I want 40 points, not 39. So we're like, wow. Knowing that we are good enough to be up there, it's just about consistently doing it week in, week out. And I think this season we showed exactly that, and we ended up taking the league by storm.
No one expected us to be in with a shout, and we just kept going all season. And seeing Wes and the boss obviously lift the trophy, and then it getting passed around to each of the lads to have a little hold themselves before the lap of honour, and that's when it did it home. But to try and put it into words is massively hard to do.
Playing non-league for Fleetwood, did you honestly believe 4 years on you'd be breaking records in the Premier League and playing for England?
No, not at all. It's a strange one, because when I first signed for Fleetwood, I just got a phone call basically saying that I was signing for him. I didn't really know too much about him, so in the space of a few hours I had to do my research, and 3 hours later I was up there signing a contract with him to play full-time football, which was obviously what I've always dreamt about. And luckily it went well, and the season finished, and I just basically got told off the chairman and manager, thanks for everything you've done this season, but you won't be with us after summer.
You won't. Has your game changed much from playing non-league to an international now?
I've had to adapt little things, but like the pace and the aggression and everything, that's always been there since I can remember playing football. That's how I am, because 9 times out of 10 I'm playing against people who are a lot bigger than me, so I have to put my weight around a bit more, and that's how I've always been. But obviously you have to work on the type of runs that you're making, and like hold up play for not being such a big lad. I need to obviously improve on that area as well.
next season playing in the Champions League. Do you have any particular affiliation with a European side? Is there any team that you're really looking forward to facing?
I don't think it's like looking forward to facing anything. I think we've just got to do what we've done this season. We've enjoyed this football and winning games, so hopefully we can carry on taking that into next season and just go out and enjoy the experience and hopefully put the performances in that gets us points.
Let's talk about the banter. Who's the ringleader? I'm hearing it's you, is that right?
No, there's a few others up there. Probably say you'd have to have a word with Hoofy. He loves to get it all started, but there's quite a few. But we think as a group that you do need that in the dressing room. If it's serious and everyone's disappointed, you need someone to just come in and lighten the mood a bit.
What is next for you in terms of ambition? You've achieved so much, playing for England, winning the Premier League. Do you have any more future ambitions in terms of the rest of your career?
Do you know what? I've never been one to look at it like that.
Right.
I've just been one of them, like you say, you take each day as they come, you want to give 100%, play to your best, and you obviously see what happens.
The best players always follow the best players. They want to be in the top of the game because the other ones, they are there. You know, you cannot rest or sleep because the other one can pass you. Of course we fight with everyone. With Neymar.
You get them back by scoring, don't you? It's the best way to do it.